Chris Broussard is still with us. Chris, what is the biggest reason the Suns won that game?
Poise. It was the poise on the Suns' part, Chris Paul and his teammates, and the lack of poise on the Clippers' part. And here's why I say that. Neither team was shooting well. The Suns shot 36%. They shot 4 of 20 from 3. The Clippers shot 33%. They shot 5 of 31 from 3. And both teams were playing great defense. Yeah, some of that was just missed shots. But both teams were playing incredible defense. I thought it was physical. And I give both of them a lot of credit on that end of the floor. So a lot of what it came down to, if you really look at the box score and you look at how close the game was foul shooting. And these are the two best foul shooting teams in the NBA. They finished 1 and 2 this year. And the Clippers were number 1. But the Clippers go to the line and they shoot 8 for 13 in the fourth quarter. They shoot 66% from the line for the game. The Suns, they go ahead and they shoot 86% from the line. Chris Paul, 6 of 7. Devin Booker, 9 of 11. And they hit 7 of 8 in the fourth quarter. Look at the Clippers. Paul George was like, what he go from the free throw line? 12 of 18. An 85% foul shooter. He misses 6 free throws. You guys know, what do they say clutch is? They say clutch is really the ability to perform in the critical moments or in the postseason like you do when it's not a critical moment or like you do in the regular season, right? If you play as well in the playoffs as you generally do in the regular season as a star, people say you're clutch because it's harder in those moments. So the Clippers, to me, the only explanation for you being an 84, 85% free throw shooting team and you shooting 66% in a game
sounds like
is nerves.
Sounds like
nerves,
okay.
lack of poise, choke, whatever.
Okay,
you know,
thank you,
that's
Chris.
the difference. The Suns had poise. The Clippers did not. I know it's not the sexiest answer in the world, but that's what it came down to.
I like it.
Poise?
Chris.
What are you talking about? The one thing neither team had was poise.
Yeah.
Neither team had any poise. It was devoid of poise. Sorry.
At the foul line, they have poise.
That's not poise. That's either choke or not choke.
Choke. I thought both teams, for a 5-minute stretch, started to feel the pressure because they knew the magnitude and the gravity of this ball game. Because we got an entirely different series if the Clippers win this ball game. You hold a team to 84 points in your building, Chris, you got to win this ball game. When you hold their 2 best players to 14 of 44 shooting, you've got to win this ball game. And all the things that you mentioned, they set a record for the best free throw shooting percentage team in all of basketball, and they shoot 65%. That ain't got nothing to do with fatigue. That ain't got nothing to do with anything else other than you feeling the pressure of that moment and them knees start to shake. Skip Bayless, now I ain't read all the stats, but Skip Bayless told me this was the best three-point percentage team. And then what happened? How y'all shoot 16%?
5 of 31.
Yeah.
Impossible.
So it tells me that moment because and Paul George. Chris, I told you, Chris, you got on that bandwagon too soon. Now you dropped side the road, broke down with him, waiting on me to come and give you a ride and scoop you up. But I'm going to be AAA. I'm going to give you a ride. And I told you, play our P. I told you polyester P. When the pressure got on and you saw it again. Chris, how many shots did he miss? With a chance to tie the game or take the lead. How many free throws did he miss? In that moment, that don't tell me anything because I've seen guys, I've played with guys, make one-handed catch. That was before the tag-to-five glove, Skip. They reach up and catch it like this here and all behind their head, between their legs and come for a quarter. What I got? What you got? The same thing that you had in the first quarter when you caught the ball. That's what you got. That pressure got to both teams, but one team handled it just a little bit better than the other team. But I felt that both teams started to succumb to it, but your team, man, they just, Skip, they just pulled their pants down and just made a mess of themselves.
Okay. So I will give you this. In the end, the Phoenix Suns choked a little bit less than the Clippers choked. Okay. A little bit, but only a little tiny bit. And this team, this Clippers team, is simply the most frustrating team I have ever tried to root for.
Not for me.
That game on Saturday night was simply the most excruciating game I've ever tried to root home. Because I'm going to remind you, once again, the Clippers fell impossibly behind early third quarter. It was 52-36. Remember in Dallas, it was 30-11, right out of the box, and they're down 2 games on a Friday night game 3. Remember that?
Look at the Utah series. They were down 25.
They've been doing it the whole season, but in the third quarter, impossible. In fact, I tweeted at 52-36. The Suns are just too good to come back on the way they did Utah.
I was feeling pretty good.
And here they came, and they scratched and they clawed, and I look up and I say, they're right in this game again. It's impossible, but they did it again.
Yep.
And then we get to the fateful moment with 10:07 left in the game, and there's a technical foul on Devin Booker, so Paul George has been fouled, so he's going to get 2, but he's going to get the tech first. And he goes up and just swishes the technical free throw.
No pressure.
And then his first one of the 2, nothing but net. And then the third one, all of a sudden, you can tie the basketball game. It can be 71-all if you make this third one. And it is up, and it is a little short and a little out. And I fell on the floor. I said, you can't miss that one. That's the statement free throw where you say, we have climbed all the way back and caught you. You are in trouble in our building. And from that moment on, would you believe that the Clippers that I have applauded, the Clippers I have stuck with through thick and thin, would you believe that they went 0 of 12 on shots down the stretch to either tie or take the lead?
Yes,
0
I
for
believe
12.
it.
That is the most in a fourth quarter, most in any game in the last 25 years of the playoffs. It's impossibly bad. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Phoenix was almost just as bad because Phoenix kept saying to the Clippers, you take this, you take it. We don't want that. You take it, you take it, you take it. And the Clippers kept saying, we just throw up all over the floor. We don't want it. We can't take it. We don't got it tonight. And I was rolling on the floor. I'm screaming bad words. It's impossible. You can't miss that many shots. I said, please, just make one. Just make 1 3. If you make 1 3, maybe the tide turns. Maybe the momentum swings wildly in favor of the home team because the onus was on the home team. Obviously down 2 games to 1. It's your building, your crowd. For a Clippers crowd, it was pretty wild in there. And I thought, this is your time and your turn. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I tweeted. This is about 8 minutes left in the game. In the middle of this pathetic run where they couldn't make a shot, I tweeted, I'm sorry, but my man Paul George is choking his guts out. So don't accuse me of not being objective when it comes to Pandemic P. That was pandemic all over again. You can ridicule him, you can dismiss him, you can condemn him all you want today because he deserved it. He had every chance to take that game back for the Clippers, and he could not close it.
You can't, Chris, in the regular season, teams were 22-0 while keeping an opponent to 84 points or less. 22-0. They were 3-0 in the regular season. You're at home. You've got to win that game. You just held Devin Booker. You've had Devin Booker again to a horrible shooting night. You've held Chris Paul again to a horrible shooting night.
Phoenix is begging to get beaten.
You've got to win that game. And what happened right on cue, you get dressed up. It's like a child. You get him dressed up, and the moment you get him dressed up, he all of a sudden want to go eat something and spill something on the Sunday suit. That's just like you.
And it's one of those.
Yeah, you know, I got my Easter suit. Cause I knew it was gonna be special. I knew today was gonna be special. I'm gonna have me a good time.
I think there's some premature celebration.
I just said it was my birthday Saturday.
Okay.
The Phoenix Suns didn't know that, but they gave me one of the best gifts somebody's ever given me that didn't know me.
No, the Clippers gave you the gift. Yes.
But you know what? That's all right. I'm not going to count my chickens. Go ahead, Chris.
I'm surprised you didn't look at the refs. Because remember,
I've done that. I was just getting ready to. Go ahead, be my guest.
Okay. Well, no, it was look, there was a similar play, remember, in game 2.
I got it.
When Patrick Beverley knocked it off Devin Booker's hand. There was one that was just like that It looked like it was almost the exact same situation.
It was.
They didn't look at it.
Yep, this is 7.8 seconds left.
Batum, Payne, I think?
It's Batum off Cameron Payne.
Batum and
it's
Cameron.
still
There
on
it
his
is.
hand, and it goes out of bounds. Last to touch the ball, Cameron Payne. Clippers are only down 1. They deserved a chance. As poorly as they played, they at least deserved a chance to redeem themselves.
Well, how about this, Chris? What about it should have been called a technical foul?
And the other one,
because when Paul George...
other one, I thought at the end...
Go ahead, Chris.
When Chris Paul
Thank you.
was called, they fouled
Let's
Chris
see it.
Paul, the double
It's a phantom foul. There's no foul.
They didn't touch him.
Nope, they didn't touch him.
No.
It's
And it
the
looked like did he
anticipated
travel?
foul. Yeah, thank you.
Right.
The refs anticipate a foul that is not committed. There's no foul. There's no foul.
Right.
There's no contact whatsoever by Pat Bev or Batum. No contact. Chris Paul flops. He falls flat. He travels with the basketball, and they don't call it because it's Chris Paul, and they want him in the finals. Obviously.
Chris,
there's no foul.
Chris, what about Paul George walking by Devin Booker and shoving him, and Devin Booker shoves him back and gets a technical call? Paul George should have been out of the ball game.
Fair.
Paul George did that. You saw that too, Skip Bayless.
I liked it, actually. It was the first sign of life I saw from the Clippers all night.
Yeah, they got retaliation. That was Paul George did all that.
Okay, that's fine. But Chris missed one play with 58 seconds left in the game. My man, T-Man, Terrence Mann, drives it, attacks the basket, and scores it. And Bridges just hacks him across the hand as he is scoring. And
play on.
There's no call.
We're at the park.
Again,
We'll call that.
Do I know for sure he could have made the free throw?
No.
I think he could have. If he does make the free throw, all of a sudden, that 1-point game with those 2 non-calls at the end of the game would have been a tie game. I'll take that. So the ref said, no, not tonight, not tonight, not tonight. And Chris, I told Shannon, maybe the refs are just saying, you haven't earned these calls. But it's a crucial turning point playoff game. They deserved chances to redeem themselves with those 3 calls, and they did not get them. So once again, it appears to me that somebody in the league office wants Phoenix in the finals, and I don't blame them because there's no Kawhi.
Well, if you shoot 16% in the fourth quarter and you shoot 61% from the free throw line, you go 8 of 13.
By the way, 2 of those were intentional misses at the end of the game.
And guess why they was intentional? Would Paul George have intentionally missed that second field goal had he not missed the first one, Chris? He intentionally missed the second because he missed the first one. Am I correct, Skip Bayless? Call it like you see it now.
I just did. I told you. I said choking his guts out. Yeah, I tweeted that. But you can look it up.
But I need you to provide context. When you say someone missed 2 free throws
well, they did.
purpose,
Well, they count on how bad it sounds.
But why did he miss the second one on purpose?
DeMarcus Cousins missed one.
I ain't talking about DeMar. I ain't talking about Boogie. I ain't talking about Boogie. I'm talking about your guy. I'm talking about Polyester P, the guy that shrinks when the heat's on.
Lay it on. I need you to go more. Condemn him.
Hold on.
I need it.
Go. Reggie Jackson had 20 points on 24 shots. Paul George took another 5 of 20.
Get him out of my sight.
No. Keep him in your sight.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Reggie Jackson been saving a lot of people's legacy on the Clippers. And it's time's up. The genie's out of the bottle.
Okay. This series is over, says he. Says he.
Well,
it's over.
I ain't gonna say it's over, but I got that turkey, I got that chicken in the crock pot, and it's cooking, and I left it on.
Really?
I just said it's gonna be done when I get home. That's all I'm saying, Chris. It's not done right now, but it's gonna be done in a little while.
Sounds like it's gonna be overdone.
No. I let that thing cook about 150. Cook it all day, Chris. That's one thing about the crock pot.
You sure you turned it on?
I left it on. That's the one thing. Cut me some onion up. It got some carrots, some green peas, some garden peas. It's gonna be ready when I get home.
Your kitchen done burned down.
Don't worry about the kitchen.
See on that. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.